Hey everyone, this is Dave Vance with Equity Real Estate again, and um, just talking about some relationships. So I'll wait for a few more people to get on. So if you get on, just give me a thumbs up or a heart, or shoot me a comment. Tell me how things are going. How's your day? Wait for a few more to jump on. And it looks like it says, congrats, this is my 10th broadcast. Woohoo! My 10th Facebook Live. Awesome. So give me a thumbs up if you're on, if you can hear me. I'm hoping this is working. My battery was about to die. So we're going to be talking about relationships today. So give me a thumbs up so I know you're on, or if you can hear me, or if you can't hear me, let me know. Because there is a lot of juicy stuff in the topic today. So, well, I will get going. So today, I'm talking about relationships, and really, relationships are everywhere in our life. It could be at home, it could be at school, it could be at work, it could be at the grocery store, it could be at the bank. Relationships are literally everywhere we go. But what makes a good relationship? Some people say, well, if you have a lot of things in common, that makes a good relationship. Well, that makes things better, but it doesn't make a good relationship. It's not what other people are doing or saying that makes a good relationship. A good relationship depends on us. If we want a good relationship, then we have to do our part and be a better person in that relationship. And that could be with our children, it could be with our marriage, to our spouse, it could be to our coworkers, to our clients. And literally, it has to be us to have that better part come out to have a better relationship. And if you remember what I've talked about in the past videos, to have a good us, a good inner self, we have to have a positive image about ourselves. We have to have positive language about ourselves, to ourselves, and we have to have positive emotions. When we have those three things, we can be happy and we can portray that to others and have a good relationship. So a relationship will depend, if it's good or bad, on us and no one else. So what do we do to have a good relationship? That was a question that was given to me. And first, we have to think of others first. We can't think of ourselves, because if we do, then all we're doing is everything's me, me, me. But if we have our thoughts thinking of other people to have a better relationship, then we're going to want to make sure that that person or that group or that client is happy. And we're going to want to know more of how they feel more than what we want. So number one, I want to talk about marriage, relationships in the marriage. And first of all, if you're on, if you can hear me, what is the number one cause of failed marriages? Just feel free to type in the comment. What do you feel the number one cause of failed marriages or divorces are? Why are divorces so high? The number one thing everybody says is finances. If our finances are bad, then our marriage struggles, we're not happy. And yeah, that's a piece of it. But to me, I think that's a bunch of hooey. Because you could go live in a tent and be content with your spouse and be happy. But the number one thing that causes marriages to fail is communication. If we don't open that communication gap, and talk to our spouse or to our loved ones, to our children, then that relationship will literally end. And everybody will block, and we don't want to do anything more. I mean, if you have something happening in your relationship that somebody offends you, the number one thing people do is they close up and they won't talk to the other person. And that's the worst thing you can do, because that's when you need to open up more, to tell each other how each other feels. Now, this is the kicker, is when you're talking, if you do have that communication open, you don't want to vent or spew all the negative stuff onto the other person. Because, one, you're trying to make your relationship better, but you don't want the other person to really get that negativity in their mind. And the same thing with them. If they start spewing their feelings, their hatred or anger or whatever it is on you, all that stuff goes in your head, and then there's that conflict of inner self, and then with your spouse or significant other, whatever it may be. So literally, even if you have to take a break, go into the other room, don't slam the door, that makes it worse. But go take a break, go get a breather, go for a run, go for a little drive, and then come back and talk. The communication, it's hard at first. I mean, I've had to go through it myself. I'm still going through it. But when you open that communication with your spouse, your wife, your husband, you'll be so amazed on the things you can accomplish in that marriage. And if you hear me talk on Facebook or around, I talk about my wife being my queen, and she is. I hold her on a pedestal so high, and that's how we need to talk about each other. Is I'm her king, she's my queen. Our home is our castle, and together we have our kingdom. And if you looked in our bedroom, we have it decorated as king and queen. We do have our king and queen swords. Those of you that go to 3 Key Elements, woohoo! Let's hear a woohoo for 3 Key. But really, relationships comes down to, do we want a good relationship? First, we have to start with us. Remember those 3 things. The second is we have to step out. Thanks, Rio, for your wahoo. Second, we have to step out and literally think of the other people of that relationship. And like I said, it could be with our spouse. It could be our children. It could be at school, at work, our clients, whatever. We have to think of the other person first. Because if we don't, that's why everybody fails in literally life. If we think of ourselves, we will become selfish, and we will close up, and we cannot expand. We cannot expand mentally. We cannot expand socially. There's so many things that we're holding ourselves back, and it literally comes to communication. The next, of course, in relationships is finances, but that comes with communication. If you talk to your significant other or spouse about finances, that bridges many gaps that could cause many problems. So relationships are everywhere in this world. And if you talk to your queen or king negatively, then that relationship will fall. And if you look around, we see so many divorces going on in the world. Every day I see on Facebook that somebody else is separated or getting a divorce. I got divorced. This is my second marriage. But I am not ending this marriage. I am working at it. She is working at it. We are working together. And that's how a marriage needs to be. We talk. We help each other. We make sure each other's feelings are heard. And that's really what a relationship is if we really think about the other person. If we did that, if everybody did that in this world, how much better would this place be? how much better would we be able to walk down the street and just say hi to everybody? It all starts with us inside. If we can't be positive, then everything will just crumble and fall. So let's make an effort to be positive. Talk to our spouse. Tell them how beautiful or handsome they are. I call my wife beautiful. She is to me, and she always will be. And I don't tell her she is beautiful. I call her a noun. She is beautiful. She is beautiful. And start with that. Give many compliments. Sometimes it's hard. If that's not your personality, change. This is where things need to start to change. If I want something to be better, I must be better. If I want something to change, I must change. If I want my marriage to be happy, I must put that forth, that effort, and become happy. So it all starts with us. So let's make our marriages, our lives, our relationships happier. Let's do it. And we'll see you next time.